Decision on whether or not the city will be able to change its right to shelter laws now rests in the hands of the court. So late yesterday, lawyers for the city took legal action to suspend part of the right to shelter requirements in the wake of the migrant crisis.
That's right. This is the second time this month the Adams administration taking aim at right to shelter laws, which don't exist anywhere else in the country, by the way. This morning, we're joined by former City Council Speaker Christine Quinn, who currently serves as the president and CEO of WIN, the largest provider of family shelter and supportive housing in New York City, about what this move could mean for them. So good morning to you, Ms. Quinn. It's just been a matter of days since I spoke to you last time about this. So, when I spoke to you a few days ago on Picks on Politics, you seemed almost optimistic that the plan you had moved forward and this whole right to shelter was going to move in the direction you wanted it to. It did not. So what is your reaction here?
The best laid plans. Well, I think that the step that Mayor Adams took yesterday, both going to court to try to repeal parts of the right to shelter and opposing a packet of legislation in the city council, which would help get more homeless people, asylum seekers and otherwise housed. Both of those together are a double whammy that really will hurt homeless New Yorkers and hurt asylum seekers. The Callahan decision, which gave the basis of the right to shelter, it isn't so much a court decision, it's a statement of who we are as New Yorkers. That as New Yorkers, we believe people have a right to shelter. They have a right not to sleep on the street, not to sleep on the floor of office buildings. And I'm sympathetic to the situation the mayor is in, but he has not exhausted all of the resources and options that he has, and he should not be taking this step. It has a terrible slippery slope, and we could lose the entire right to shelter.
So let's talk specifically then about what the city is asking for, that a provision be added to the right to shelter laws that would allow the city to suspend the rules when the city, quote, lacks the resources and capacity to establish and maintain sufficient shelter sites. You see it right there. Now, this isn't the first administration, though, seeking to revise the right to shelter laws, right? So Mayor Adams says he's seeking to clarify what the city is realistically responsible for. So doesn't that need to be addressed at some point?
If you read what he said and think about it, it's really giving the city the power to say we don't have the resources at any given time. And it gives this mayor, would give this mayor and future mayors the right to just decide they are in a level that they can't keep up with without putting any real responsibility on them to do the things they have the power to do. Right now, when someone enters shelter, when a family enters shelter, they have to stay in shelter 90 days before they can even apply for permanent housing. That's a waste of time. It's more time for children in shelter. Let's repeal the 90-day rule, get people out of shelter and into permanent housing more quickly, and open up shelter units for the asylum seekers to move into.
Okay, so let me just stop you for a second, because that sounds like a no-brainer when you explain it in the way you just did, right? So what is the logic then and the conversations you had with either Mayor Adams or the administration about that very plan and why they don't want to do it?
They don't have a good answer of why they're opposing the bill that would do this. They say that there are other bills in the council also dealing with housing vouchers, and they don't like those, and they're throwing them all together. It makes no sense. I think there's just been a decision to kind of go on a full attack against the right to shelter, as opposed to really digging down, working with elected officials, working with community groups to find better options. We have to remember that homelessness is a trauma. 80% of the women in WIN shelter are domestic violence survivors. That's a terrible trauma. And to potentially limit their ability to shelter is not the right thing to do. And then you think of these asylum seekers, some of whom were so desperate in their countries of origin, they literally walked through rivers to the United States. These are exactly the kind of folks the Statue of Liberty once welcomed into New York's harbor. And we cannot step away from who we are and who we have always been as New Yorkers.
Yeah, well, the debate will continue. And Christine, we appreciate your time this morning, as always.
Thank you.
All right, 7:39, everybody, and a warning from the Surgeon General about teens and social media. Those details